So today I will be talking to Sonamm Sharma, who is a dreamer, a believer, and a quintessential optimist. She is a marketing consultant, a copywriter, an artist, and an actor. You can describe her as all things creative. Hi, Sonam.
Hello, Shruti.
Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
I sometime back I was watching this one business show and they spoke
Yeah.
about how at this point we'd rather be jack of all trades than just specialize
Hmm.
in one. Do you agree
Yeah.
to that?
Um, you know, it's a very interesting topic, to be very honest. It's the entire, the specialist versus the generalist kind of debate, wherein, a lot of people think, originally the idiom actually did not have the part where it says jack of all trades and master of none. It was added. So basically, I like that because, I kind of dabble in various things. I have various career paths that I follow simultaneously. So I don't have a problem per se, but to each their own, really. But if you were watching a business talk that actually advocated it, I think that's great. That's a great start because I always tell people, follow your bliss or, honor your calling, whatever it may be, however many there may be. So I don't think there should be any sort of downside to following multiple careers. I don't see a problem. And during this time, especially the pandemic time, so what's happening? There's something internationally more. I don't think this is a concept which is very sort of used in India, but there's something that they call transferable skills, adaptable skills. So you can move from one industry to another very seamlessly if you happen to know more than one skills, basically. So it's actually a good thing, I would say.
Okay, and do you think that this is something that has helped you during this time, especially?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, in sense, so from art to social media to digital marketing to copywriting to acting to writing scripts. I mean, everything. I mean, all of it is under an umbrella of creative arts. So it could be visual arts, performing arts, other forms of arts, but it's all creative work. But again, just doing so many things and kind of disconnected from each other. Um, it's it's a it's a gift, really, to be very fair, because it helped me develop multiple streams of income, and you're not dependent on one source of income, especially during this time where everything is so it's just really unpredictable. The entire job scene is unpredictable, your clients are unpredictable, everyone's really unpredictable. So knowing that you can reach out to a wider audience and knowing that you can actually make something out of it, in terms of it's lucrative. So you know that your art can sell, you know that your ideas can sell, you know that you could lend a consulting service to some brand, and you could get paid for that per hour. So you have multiple things, so I think it's a good thing for me. At least it has been amazing.
That's great. So that means right now the reason why it's obviously so prevalent as well is this unpredictability that's there in the world right now. So right now it's actually
Absolutely.
that you develop all the skills that you feel that you could be good at, for you to even
Yes.
enjoy all the work coming your
Yeah.
way and not be restricted to, oh, I only do this.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Which is
it opens so many doors. You just you know uh, I shouldn't say this, but a lot of people say, especially in our country, there is this uh, kahavat where they say zyada nao mein pair nahi rakhna, in the sense like you should focus on one skill, but you can focus on multiple things and keep that focus for that time on that thing, on that particular thing, and then shift from there. It doesn't have to be that you're kind of squandering your energies, right? You're not doing It's different from multitasking, if you know what I mean. So pick one thing at a time, focus on that, and then move on to your next task. But a lot of people, I think, misconstrue it for multitasking, and therefore they think you could just be all over the place, and then you're not directing your energies in one direction. So I think that's a bit of a problem. It's not true. I think knowing multiple skills or having multiple skills and being able to use them, especially to make money or to project yourself as a professional, I think it's a boon. I think it's very, very important for everybody to know more than one. It
Exactly.
just opens many doors, I feel.
And now there are times when sometimes you have no work and sometimes everything just comes together. So, how do
Absolutely.
you stay focused and what do you prioritize? Because you are an expert in so many things. How do you prioritize? What should you focus on at that point?
Initially I used to have a problem with that because I was all over the place, which I wouldn't lie about. But with time, with practice, it kind of happens very organically now. So I know that I have a bigger task that I need to focus on early in the morning. So I'll give it those 3-4 hours. It's just time management, Shruti. It's basically, it boils down to just time management, knowing that every hour is precious and how you can focus on various things and give it your best. Obviously, don't do a shoddy job. I always say, quality comes over the quantity of hours that you put in. And I'm the kind of person who believes in inspired action. So if I'm feeling really demotivated or I feel really sort of sad one day and I wake up and I don't want to work, I don't. I actually don't. I do something else in the meanwhile till the time I feel a little inspired to go back to my business, because there is nobody pushing you as such. There's nobody on your head beating a danda, ki हाँ करना है करना है. So you can take your time, wait for the inspiration to strike you. Obviously, don't wait ages. And but I think it happens more organically now since I've been doing it for a while, and I know how to divide my time accordingly. Also, take out some time for my social life, personal life. That's also very important. That work life balance is extremely important. So I feel that's, it's not like work at all. But when I'm doing my other jobs and other things that I do, I obviously dedicate a certain amount of time, and I feel if I finish it within this sort of time span, great. If I don't, tomorrow is another day. Nobody's going to rush me. Yeah. Just have to be better planned. And I think strategizing and knowing what you want to do the following day. So I make a plan overnight, and and I know what to do the following day, and I just keep it like that. So it kind of helps if you pre-plan a bit.
That's great. So that's what I wanted to ask you. So what are the techniques that you follow, because you've been doing this for a while now? So that we don't get confused and you can stay focused on this one task at one time. So are there any set techniques that you feel that you follow so that you can just
Yeah.
your goals as well?
So techniques, to be very fair, again, like I would say, time management. That's the most important thing, to know how to manage your time. And I think everything then kind of centers around that, because once you know how to balance the various things that you do within the 24 hours that you have in a day. Because see, time is finite. We don't have beyond 24 hours, and then we have to sleep and we have to do other things as well. And we don't want to strike that disbalance anywhere. So whenever I feel, just knowing how to manage time is the most essential thing when it comes to pursuing multiple careers or multiple things at one time. I don't think I use anything else apart from that. I just feel you just have to be happy doing what you're doing. Don't, like I said, don't do things, don't force yourself into doing things if you don't feel like it. Because, like I said, I have picked everything that I do out of my own love of that industry or profession. So if I'm doing art, it's because I like it. If I'm doing social media marketing, branding, consulting, it's because I like it. So I wouldn't really do a 9 to 5 job, for example, because it doesn't resonate with me. It's not my idea of a work environment, life, or whatever. I like to be my own boss, have my own hours, space it out according to myself. So it gives you a lot of that flexibility, I feel, as opposed to the popular belief, that if you're doing so many things, you may not have a lot of time. It's just about knowing how to manage time.
Exactly. And then you decide your own goals and then you see how you fulfill them
Absolutely.
as well. But there
Yes.
could be
So
another scary times when you don't know what you're going to be doing the next month. How do you plan for that?
savings. Keep some savings, because even if it's a small amount, sorry about that, even if it's a small amount per month that you kind of put away, um, for your rainy days or whatever, always have a certain amount of savings with you. And again, I because you have multiple, like I said, if you have multiple streams of income, you don't really have to really worry about, if one job goes or the other one doesn't come through. You have something to fall back on as well.
Yeah.
So it's the same for actors, for example. They may get work like a massive movie shoot or whatever in one month, and then the month after they have nothing. So they're kind of really dependent on the monies that they made from that first project. So, but again, you need to know how to manage your budgets. You need to know how to manage your accounts very well. I think that again comes with time and experience. When you burn a hole in your pockets and then you realize, oh, okay then. So that comes with experience. But I don't, yeah.
Because now we've opened this discussion about, yeah, you can be an expert in so many fields and it's a good thing. You do not have to define yourself in just one bracket. But if you actually think
Absolutely.
about it, actors, we have always seen
Yeah.
actors always getting into some business, or they're writing, or they're directing, they're writing scripts, they're doing all of
Restaurants, they're the biggest investors in restaurants, in fashion, like apparel stores, and all of these things. So if you look at all these really successful A-listers from Bollywood, they're all investing in some business or the other, real estate, everywhere, not only just in India, everywhere across the world. So it's important. There's something that I read in a very interesting entrepreneurial sort of magazine kind of thing once, and they said if you're not making money while you're sleeping at night, you're not really doing a very good job. So that is basically passive income.
yeah,
So when we talk about passive income is when we just invest, so we know where we're putting our stakes basically. So yeah, so all of us have to learn how to do that eventually. So investments is another good strategy actually. So knowing your savings, having a budget of sorts, and then knowing where to invest. I always urge people to learn about stock market, other forms of investment, your SIPs and stuff, all of those things, the financial things that you can. And there's so much content on internet that's available that you can actually binge on, and you can, in one day you can actually understand, okay, I could do this, the kind of money that I'm making, I could do this, I could do this, so yeah, so it's important when you keep yourself updated with that side of things also, because managing finances becomes difficult once the money starts coming in, and then your work could be going really well, but then you don't know where to, how to manage. So you may think, okay, I'm making a decent sum of money, but then I don't know what's going to happen with this, because investments are important. So yeah,
that. Makes sense. That makes sense.
yeah,
And you have such a vast digital presence. So do you think
yeah,
that does help you with work as well?
absolutely, 100%. Because so I didn't think initially when I was on social media, and I started doing things and stuff, I never thought that I could engage with the community online, and especially Instagram. I think has been a big boost to my ego and my um, prospects of making money also, because you just randomly, and I started posting and learning things as obviously as I started experimenting with the platforms ages ago, and then I somehow managed to develop a network, and then every time I put out anything about art, for example, I saw that there are loyal followers who are actually waiting for when I'm going to release the next post, or if they're waiting for a next video, or if they're waiting for something that I want to share. So that loyalty has come across through social media. I mean, it has its disadvantages also, but more or less for me, I think it's really worked like a charm. So I've sold a lot of my products through Instagram without putting any money on any of the other platforms, just by uh, putting out stories and things like that. I've gained a massive amount of footage on my videos through Instagram and Facebook. Um, Twitter has been another really interesting tool, because some projects that I was kind of, so another thing, I'll come to that in a bit actually. So one really cool thing that happens when you have multiple skills is that your chances of going global increases. I feel that's my personal take, because when you are engaged with so many activities on a regular basis, I think globally people really appreciate that. There's a lot of respect for like I said, transferable skills and adaptive skills abroad. And because I happened to study in England, and I understood that whilst I was there, so I came back and I realized, and every time I do something, and there's a collab message coming in, and they're like, "You want to do something remotely, especially during this time? Do you want to do something remotely?" I said, "Sure." And literally, we shot a movie online like that. We've done a music video online like that, and I was surprised because um, it's paid. It's something that I enjoy doing, and it takes you on international platforms. So I feel your chances of going global really increases as well when you have multiple skills that you can put to use.
This comes to my final question, which is,
Hmm.
what is your favorite social media channel?
Instagram, without a doubt, without a doubt, without a single doubt. Because see, not only it's I mean, not only is Instagram very visual, but it has so it's limited also, it's restricted, so you'll see a lot of the links don't work on content and all of that. So I like those restrictions a little bit. I like the fact that people have to make an effort to know you, to get to know you, to get to know what you're doing. So you actually can filter, the wheat, the chaff from the wheat, or whatever you call it. And it just makes a lot more sense to me when I see that the other person is making an effort to understanding your work or getting to know you better and stuff. So I love Instagram, and also because it's very art oriented, it's very photography based, it's very powerful visually. So I think it's just beautiful. I just love it.
Thank you so much, Sonam. I'm
Not
so
a
happy
problem.
about this. This is actually great for people to understand that yes, you can be a freelancer right now, and there are lots of avenues, and well, it's a good thing.